All right. I just realized in a classic Wolfbrother Mythos style, forgot I hadn't hit the mute, unhit the mute button. So I can see now that the audio is looking a little crisper now, or at least I think, in theory.
I can't hear you. Your mic still sounds a little funny, but I mean, I can hear you and understand you.
What about now? Okay. Hey, I don't know if it's just me, but there's no audio. Okay, it wasn't just me. Yeah, it's this goober. Oh man, something I do all the time. These fancy headsets where you can mute yourself. It comes with the necessity to actually remember when you hit the mute button and to stop doing that. All right, I'm gonna start over. So what is up, beautiful people? It's Wolfbrother Ethos from Wolfbrother Hobbies. Welcome to another Friday night live chat. It's back. Sound is... It's back, but it's a bit... Oh, the background sound is overpowering. Oh, it is in the red. Oh, God, it's all the way up for some reason. Yeah, that doesn't usually happen. Oh, you know what? Let's take the background music down to -50. Is that any better? Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I do that all the time. Greg, my brother, I hope you're doing well. Is that any better, guys? I have no ability to hear my own stuff now. Oh my goodness. Okay. Charles, I hope you're doing well. Camping sounds good. Oh yeah, you did say you had a big camping trip come up. I hope you are enjoying the wilderness, my brother. Okay. Well, I'm not going to do the opening again. Hopefully you guys can hear me. So, I'm back from a long trip. Working out of town. That's why it's a short show tonight. That's why I'm so late. Hey, seeing Sinners for the second time. Very cool. Well, if you watched it twice, you must have enjoyed it. So I will take that under advisement. Got a video recorded for tomorrow. Oh, man, all kinds of productiveness here. Like I said, I was working out of town this week. So that's why I'm late tonight. And just in general, it's going to be a short show because I'm just tired from traveling. But I was like, you know what? I don't care if I'm tired. It's been weeks now. I got to talk about the new Badassery of the Primaris Space Wolf models that have been released. I know it's been weeks, but to be honest with you, I just at the time didn't have the bandwidth to focus on that because I had the convention coming up, and I just felt like I needed to focus on my Custodes and be in the Custodes headspace because I knew if, I was like trying to learn a new army, right? The convention itself was only my third time ever playing Custodes. And I knew if I took my head out of a Custodes space to focus on wolves, I was just going to get, not all mixed up. So, the convention is over. We talked about it last week, and we had a phenomenal time. 40K narrative events, especially hosted by Manager X and Mr. X. Best way to play 40K. So, I'm going to keep saying that. I may not always talk about the convention, but I'm just going to keep saying that. That's like amazing, just a super fun way to play. But had a phenomenal time with that. And it's time that we actually talked about those Space Wolf reveals. It's time the Wolf Brother talked about some wolf stuff, right? So that's why I'm hopping on, even though I'm like, hey, I'm super tired. I need to talk to my peeps about cool stuff. So yes, Logan Grimnar, possibly my favorite model in existence right now. I have some minor concerns about that, but possibly my favorite model in the range right now. Definitely something I got to get. But before we get into all that, of course, it's pork chop time. Okay, what have we been doing? What's on our hobby desk? What we got for a pork chop? You guys let me know what you're hobbying along with at the current time, this week, this month, this year. Let me know what you're working on, and I'll get into mine. So first thing, I showed you guys. I think last time I had just primed the bikes, or maybe I'd started slapping down some gold. Actually, I think I was slapping down the gold, maybe a little. I was not sure. But they're all finished being gilded, and the blues are down. And trying a little bit different recipe. I've been using scale 75 before, and you guys know that my favorite paints lately have been the Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl range. And so the combination of these two colors together, building up layers, was giving me basically what I use from the blue from Monument Hobbies. So I just want to see once I put all of my streaking grime, enamel wash effects down, if it'll look similar in the end to my other Custodes. And because I like consistency, instead of just test piecing it on one bike, I went ahead and did it to all 6 of them so I could just go ahead and find out. So, yeah, I've got, I only have one of the bikes on my desk with me. I took the others out of town with me because when I travel for work, I like to take a little go bag, a hobby travel bag to be able to work on stuff in my hotel room and stuff like that. Didn't serve me any purpose this time because I was just basically so tied up with work that I didn't get any hobbying done. But yeah, so one bike was already finished to the cap, so 5 bikes done to this point, which is basically just the blues and the golds right now. Let's see. Just got home. Oh yeah, Grimnar. Hey Ashley, I hope you are also enjoying your trip. Finished my Heralds of Armageddon Tactical Squad, which is tomorrow's video. Very nice. Darn big size figure. Outstanding. Thank you so much. Looking great. Love the blue. The Pro Acryl blue is just a regular blue. It's my favorite blue so far that I've worked with. It is similar in color to my favorite GW blue, which is Caldor Sky. And it's just like a slightly more intense Caldor Sky. And like I said, I really love what I've been using from Scale 75. But they're a gel-based medium, which takes a lot more layers to build up, which is great if you're that kind of artist looking to work in that many layers. And basically, it takes the combination of these two colors for me to get the one color that I'm usually looking for, which is, again, my favorite shade is that Caldor Sky or Pro Acryl blue color. Me and Greg have the grandkids out. Nice. 3 of them camping with us right now. Very, very cool. Oh, man. I got to say, camping time with the grandparents is some of my fondest childhood memories. And so, I wish you guys the best time out there. And, wishing you all have a safe and wonderful camping trip. I'm so far behind in all my gaming varieties. Oh, I know that feeling, my friend. Oh, I know that feeling. I haven't even touched my Yu-Gi-Oh deck in weeks. Any of them. Except, I got a couple more cards in and I put them in the sleeves. I got one of the cool new dragon engines that pairs well with Blue Eyes, called the Primaris engine, which is cool. Like I said, I'm not making my Blue Eyes deck meta right now, but it's there if I ever want to swap it. I didn't even put it in sleeves. The whole Primaris engine just basically went into a binder, so I'm like, I have them. Could I play them? I could. But, I'm not really at this point where I need to do that at the moment. Greetings, knights and knaves of yore, and greetings to yourself, Telemachus. It's good to see you. So I'm guessing your concern... Grimnar is so badass, it might mean we get no rust. That is actually a very good point. And actually, I think that's probably quite true, at least for now, just because we are so... It's been so recent. We just got the last Primarch, both the Dark Angels one and the Emperor's Children one. I don't foresee any more Primarchs coming out this year. Maybe not even this edition. If at all, it would be the end of this edition, I think. If at all. Just in the same way it was at the very end of 7th that we got Gilliman. The end of 9th that we got the Lion. And so, if at all this edition, I think it would be at the very end of the edition. Exactly. And it might even not even be this edition. It might be the next edition. So I'm not going to hold my breath on Russ. I love Russ. I don't think it's going to be Russ though. Got a bunch of 15 and 28 millimeter that needs primer and or paint. That's cool. I've got some priming to do myself. I printed out a bunch of these cool cavalry knight style helms. Just that way, I think they look really good on the Custodes bikers. And I know it's just a me thing, but I don't feel like the plumes especially fit the jet bike super well. I think they're great for the captain on jet bike, but I didn't want them on all 6 of my bikes. I want them on the 2 ones that are going to be captains, and the rest are going to get more sleek and more sleek helmets that I think will be good for being on a jet bike. And that's just a me thing, but I like it. And umpteen rule sets to read. And I don't learn rules very well from reading, and so that's one area I've always struggled with, is actually sitting down and reading rule sets. For 7th edition, I played with a lot of the rules wrong at first for a decent amount of time, because I was just being taught by other people in the store who knew how to play, and some of them, like yourself, they play umpteen different, similar wargaming systems, and some of them have been playing since 2nd edition, like the store owner. He'd been playing since 2nd edition, and would constantly get edition rules mixed up with how it was in another edition. And so for like the first 6, maybe the first year of playing Warhammer, I was playing bits and pieces of it wrong all the time. Just because, like, if I had sat down to read something, I just don't absorb very well. But when I am shown something, or, if I'm watching that, then I'm more likely to learn it, Doing is the first best way I learn things, watching is the next, and then reading is just for some reason a struggle for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't struggle to read, but I struggle to learn by reading, if that makes any sense. Getting editions confused, I'm still doing that. Hey, it happens, brother. It happens. And it's, at first, I was like, oh, man, because at first I felt a little embarrassed, like, the way I've been taught Warhammer is wrong, and I feel embarrassed because people are having to correct me on rules all the time. And now that I've been in the game for, this is 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, so my 4th edition that I've been playing, like, now it happens to me and my friends that play now too. It's like, how does leadership work again? It's like this, right? Oh, no, that is the way it was in 9th edition and 10th edition. It's this. It's like, oh, yeah. I struggle to struggle. Is that meta? That's exactly what meta is. That is the perfect definition, my friend. The game is from 1970 or something or other. Oh, that's cool. Giacchino Games, The Great Redoubt. Borodino Hex Encounter. The great Hex Encounters that Greg and Ashley talk about on their channels. So yeah, I totally get that. Now that, I'm several editions in, I totally get how easy it is to, like, remember bits and pieces from an older edition, What about us? Charles was mentioning one of the Hex Encounter games, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's that game series or archetype that I often hear on your show. That's all I was saying. So yeah, I get it. Like, and that's why sometimes I'm loath to stop and learn new games, because I've seen that, like, with editions, sometimes you get them kind of a little mixed up, and then, like, people are like, hey, you should get into this game. And sometimes I'm like, man, I don't know if I can learn a new game right now, because I don't want to learn more games that cause me to forget what happens in Warhammer. That makes sense? Of course, saying that, I still keep getting into more games. Like, currently, I've got Shatterpoint and Halo that I still need to play more of, Alright, short stream, so I need to get to the point, Mythos. So, 5 bikes being done up. Look, excited about that. this week, also, I finished the Harry Potter series, which I know I'm severely late to the party on. Really enjoyed it, though. And I know a lot of people, it's a very, very split, right? Some people feel like if you're going to like Harry Potter, it is a young adult's book or a kid's book. The books. You know, and then there's a lot of people that are like on the other end, lots of very adult, very serious Harry Potter fans. And so I just now got around to it because my brother, Darklight Dreamer, my flesh and blood brother, he has been on a reading binge for the last year or so. We've kind of started, I guess, about 2 series ago, we started doing a little book club thing. We started with I don't want to go too far off topic, but Dresden Files author Jim Butcher. We started with a Jim Butcher series, and we read that together. And so we were able to. It's just really cool when you enjoy a fandom together, read the books together, and you can excitedly talk about the books with someone else that is currently in the same enthusiasm as you are. It's like, man, I wish I had taken book clubs more seriously when I was a kid, because my brother and I doing it now as adults is actually kind of cool. And anyways, so we just did that again with Harry Potter, and I just finished the series this week while I was traveling. So really excited about that. I don't want to say too much because, again, I know my wife hasn't finished, my brother hasn't finished, but I found the ending very satisfying and made the whole series worth a read. So be careful, you'll end up like us. I don't want to do that many games, Ashley. Don't pull me into the madness. Okay, I'm keeping my hobbies manageable, okay? Instead of being into 42 different games, I just have 12 different armies for the one Warhammer game and 10 different decks for Yu-Gi-Oh! And 4 different decks for Magic the Gathering. Okay, see, I'm keeping it manageable. Only 3 games. It's only 3 games. But 3 games split like a dozen different ways per game may not be the best focus. But, considering I've got the ADD, I think it's the best I can manage for staying focused. What was my favorite of the books? Mine is Goblet of Fire. Oh, man, that one is a fantastic one. But just because Perry Hodder, that does sound a little bit like a very adult parody of Harry Potter. My favorite, actually, I think, was Deathly Hallows. And I don't want to say too much. Again, I know that Lily and Darklight, or Razzie, hasn't gotten there yet. But what I will say on that, it is such a tonal shift from the rest of the series right off the bat. Completely threw me off. And yeah, so it being a big tonal shift was just kind of huge for me, but also made it feel like the most action-packed of the series. The others had a very good intrigue and investigating kind of feel, but like the final one is just like non-stop, like hammer, 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 hammer. Shit keeps happening. Hey, Paint Minis Live! Good to see you, my brother. Your mic is a little hot. Oh, thank you. I don't know why, but my audio has just been a mess today. What about... No, still... Actually, let me pull up my... Okay, that's still pinging red. What about... Nope, that's still pinging red. What about now? Does that sound any better? Okay, excellent, excellent. Thank you for warning me, my brother. I hope you're doing well. It's howling. Good to see you, Hellworks, my brother. Oh, bad as you for going off topic. Oh, yeah, no, I'm definitely one to go off the rails, so I'm already as bad as you. That's one of the things that makes us family. It's one of our family traits. Way better. I'm dumb and couldn't describe it well, so I gave up. It's all good, man. Hellworks is Prisoner of Azkaban. That's cool. That one was really good too. I'm getting ready to get a line wet for fishing opener. Very nice. Oh man, I haven't been fishing in a hot minute. I mean, like years. After a lot of work on the PML 2.0 site. Oh yeah, so if anyone's been wondering, Paint Minis Live is still my gracious sponsor. I haven't been putting up the link lately because due to some technical behind the scenes stuff, the site's getting an overhaul. But Paint Minis Live will be back shortly with the new and more powerful 2.0 version. We have no rails on this show. Exactly. Good now. Thank you, Charles. So, yes, Deathly Hallows, just finished it. I mean, tied the series up in a nice little bow. And yeah, fantastic. Much love to you, my brother. Always my pleasure to work with you. Special guest later in the month. Gonna be some kit bashing on Paint Minis Live. So finish that. I'm all caught up on the Rookie and 911, which are my current binge shows. So which model do you like better, Aryak or Njal? I have always been a massive fan of Aryak, and I am so torn because I love like the hammer throw. The hammer throw is super cool, and I've always loved that about the stats and the mini. But actually seeing it modeled is awesome. But the menacing pose he has just holding the hammer looks amazing. Okay, I keep talking about new Space Wolves. What do we say we actually jump over and look at some Space Wolves? Articles and art. That's what I name my other screen section. Let's get our screen capture. There we go. Let's see how it looks. Oh, I've actually got it spaced out decently. How about that? I didn't break it this time. Brother Thomas. Brother Hellchild knows that I'm famous for breaking the stream whenever I click buttons. It's actually working out okay this time. Let's knock on some wood. If everybody, you could help me and knock on some wood wherever you're watching from too, that'd be great. Happy Freaky Friday, X-Gear Commander. I hope you're doing well on this lovely Friday night. All right, so first off, the first reveal, of course, is the box set. Again, announced weeks ago. I haven't had a chance to actually look at it on my channel. It's so beautiful. And I've been saying I'm not going to get this box set. And the closer it gets, I'll keep looking at it. Closer it gets, I don't know. Having some illusions of grandeur right now. Of maybe getting these Primaris models and putting the color scheme of some classic Space Wolves on them, but done in the style of the miniatures paintbrush. Many of you know that I recently, well, not recently, over the holidays, so, towards the end of last year, did a, an attempt at following a miniatures paintbrush tutorial, and I love the way those Space Wolves look. Now, again, this is no shade. I've never been a big fan of the light blue style that the Games Workshop version of the Space Wolves come out on the miniature. In their art, it looks amazing. And I feel like the way TMP paints his Space Wolves makes it look much... It's just that slight shift in tone makes it look better. Don't get me wrong, though. These are still some sweet-looking minis. And also, they do the, the pack markings so much better than I could ever do. Freehanding is not my forte, but it looks great. So, I theorized when the Blood Angels got their Death Company, which was just basically assault intercessors with an upgrade sprue. That's exactly what we would get as blood claws for our Space Wolves, and that is not true at all. You can see down to the weapons that come in the kit. Looking at this pack leader, okay, you can see the classic Wolf Claw there as a power weapon. You can see the pelt here around the waist, the belt here, even this chest piece here with the talisman gem in the center instead of a skull. And you can see here with the wolf skull symbol here on the chest instead of the Aquila. And of course you can tell from the very Viking-like heads that come in the kit. These, as I think everybody may rejoice. Look at the shoulder pauldron here. This is a bespoke Space Wolves kit. This is not just an upgrade sprue for some intercessors, and that is incredible. Even the poses. I mean, that's not a standard pose for an assault intercessor. So that is a specific Space Wolves unit. It is not just assault intercessors. It is our blood claws. And good night, Inquisitor. You have an amazing night, brother. And good luck with the overtime. Make that money, baby. Camping for the anniversary. Nothing says a romantic anniversary weekend like having 3 grandkids. I'm just kidding. I know that's y'all's favorite pastime. Those are your favorite miniatures to play with. And like I said, I have some strong nostalgic memories of spending camping trips with my grandparents too. So you guys have an amazing family fun weekend. Running Bear! Good to see you, my brother. Running Bear, longtime fellow Space Wolf fan on the channel, taught me a lot about putting together Space Wolf lists because he was a tournament Space Wolf player for a long time and lately has been painting up some Death Watch. So, I mean, this is basically a celebrity friend of the Space Wolf scene in the chat. Everybody say hello to Running Bear. I want to actually do some Thunder Bear cavalry and send it to him at some point. I think that's a must. We have them just tonight, and then tomorrow's just for us. That sounds like a great, what's it called? A great, when you have 2 things, midway, brain, words, yeah, words. It's going to drive me crazy now until I think of the word that I was trying to think of. Oh, our anniversary is until Sunday. So that'll also be an compromise. Thank you, Paint Minis Live. Oh my gosh. Words had failed me. Or no, I failed words. Yeah, it's a great compromise. And not only a happy anniversary to you, but happy Mother's Day to you, Ashley, as well as any other mothers out in the community, like my beautiful wife in the next room. Words are hard. It's a good thing I have Paint Minis Live as my lifeline in the chat tonight. So, Blood Claws kit, absolutely awesome. Bespoke Grey Hunters kit as well. Also very cool, and I'm so glad to see that they brought back my favorite chest piece from the bespoke Firstborn Space Wolves kit. That is my favorite chest piece. Again, you're getting to see some bespoke heads, runic axe as a power wolf weapon, the belt with the wolf tails, again another classic piece. Backpack topper. I've never been a fan of backpack toppers, but it's cool that it's there. Fangs on the bolters and the pauldrons. Again, got some runes. That's probably from the transfer pack, or maybe it's, I mean, at least it was in the old days, but that actually might be free-handed. I don't know. Some talismans. Oh, what's unique about Grey Hunters, of course, is always that they've been able to have two-handed bolters used one hand and take chainswords too. But again, Space Wolf chest pieces, special talismans around the leg. You know, there's nothing sexier than when your significant other wears an anklet. Anyways, so yeah, extremely cool models here. Again, bolters, chain swords. So they have always been able to be that, you know, frontline bolter toting infantry, but have the extra attacks of the chain swords, which is always pretty cool. Just glad more Vikings and less wolf. I know a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people say it. The wolves are actually why I chose the army. And so I'm always glad when there's more wolf instead of army. And I'm not too enthused that there is maybe some potential for less wolf happening in the future. Just like Ragnar losing his wolves when he came back. Logan losing his chariot. And then if you want to take it a step further, okay, maybe not just wolves, but like I said before, Karsar Khan losing his bike when he went Primaris. Anyways, these heads are so cool from the new set. I love all of these heads. You know, and I didn't really paint a lot of faces when I first got into Space Wolves, but seeing these heads from the new kit definitely makes me want to use more. More axes on the painting table, but Logan got his wolves. Yeah, Logan may have lost his cavalry chariot, but he did keep the wolves, which is cool. Paint minis. We love having grad kids. We do this each year when we have them with us the first night, and that way it gives the kids a little break from their parents. Nice. And vice versa, the parents a little break from the kiddos. You know, they can afford to have a date night maybe. Bro knows the right question. Shouts into the next room. Attaboy. So yes, love the... So I said before that I'm not sure I want the new box just because I have plenty of assault intercessors. I have plenty of regular intercessors. But the closer it gets to time, I'm like, these bespoke kits look pretty awesome. I kind of want them. The new Head Takers kit, though, reasons to put the Fenrisian wolves back on the table. And actually, looking at the base, I wonder if they're Primaris sized. I wonder if they're bigger than the old Fenrisian wolves. Like, maybe it's just, a visual trick of the picture, but maybe they're bigger. But they compared them during the reveal that these will be very much like the Blade Guard veterans, except Space Wolfied up. You can see very Space Wolfed up, going axe and shield instead of just sword and shield. The wolf pelts, the wolf talismans, the wolf belts, the wolf chest piece, and of course, I think the Space Wolves get the coolest looking heads in the Space Marine line. This one, the mohawk, the eye patch, the fangs, the chin beard. This one is so Viking feel. Like, that is just fantastic. I love the design of the Space Wolf shields with the little Crux Terminatus on there. It's so cool. But like, the Wolfguard version, so the Crux Terminatus with the wolf skull there. I think these models are absolutely brilliant looking. And like I said, I know a lot of people love that things are going more Viking instead of wolf, but I love that they've gotten more Viking here, but also brought back more wolves, okay? So, yeah, we're the only ones who get Blade Guard veterans with wolves. That's pretty cool. Scythier, the Deathwing Knights losing the flails is so painful. I know, man. Although Deathwing Knights are still extremely good, but I understand. And good to see you, Brother's Eye. Long time no see, my friend. Many of you, if you were here for year 1 of Frosted Fists, I was around for many of the videos. Uh, and so, yeah, big shout out to Zai for being there for us when we very first started. Old school friend of the channel. And of course, different options here. I like the dual wielding option. Don't get me wrong, the shields look amazing, and they're probably going to be great stat wise. But oh man, seeing some dual wield options here, sword and axe. Oh, that's such a cool combo. I love this pose here. Both of these poses are pretty pimp. Oh man, I'm so hyped for this squad here. Like I said, the longer we go on, man, the more I'm like, maybe I do want the box. The battle leader. This battle leader is so pimp. Obviously, the Thunder Hammer is probably going to be the most powerful loadout from this, but man, I really like this sword and shield pose here. Like, that's one of the minis that are just like, I gotta have that from the box. I already own way more battle leaders than I could ever use in a game, just because, you know, Space Marine Lieutenants, it's so easy to collect way too many. However, I kind of want this pose, maybe with the shield, I don't know, and this pose. I keep getting tempted back into 40k, but I just don't have time anymore. Man, the original cameraman, yes you were, sir, yes you were. Time to start getting corn axes and making them into 13th Company headhunters. Oh, that would be cool. You know, I specifically, because of the 30k books where the Space Wolves also use chain axes, I specifically keep in my bits box some of the chain axes that I ordered from Forge World. Oh my gosh. Probably in my first or second year of Warhammer. The Mark 10 helm with the glyph is actually not bad. I actually like it. Kind of like it. Yeah, I think it's great. Can't stay. Chat with you soon. Hope everyone else is well and be safe. Oh, it's so great having you here tonight, Charles. Thank you so much for joining me. And yeah, like I said, it's going to be a short stream anyway, so you won't be missing much. But you have a wonderful weekend, brother. I totally get not having time anymore. My time for Warhammer has been much more limited this year, and so I haven't been doing as much, but I have been enjoying what I've been doing with it. But no, thankfully, Warhammer's one of those, you know, at your leisure kind of games, you know, so maybe you could get back in just a tiny bit at a time. Have a great weekend, Greg and Ashley. Have a safe weekend and enjoy your time. So, oh, and of course, the Wolf Priest. Man, I love the new head options. Both of them look very cool. But I gotta say, this hooded wolf helm, I've always loved the wolf skull helms on wolf priests in general, but this hooded one that kind of matches the cloak and just the, I don't know, just the big shouldered stride forward and kind of a, you know, it looks like he's walking with a little bit of swagger here. I love this miniature. This is my favorite wolf priest ever so far. Like, he just looks super cool. Love the helmet hood design. Love the cloak, the gloves, everything. It's just, this is definitely the coolest miniature in the box set for me. Don't get me wrong, this is awesome. The head takers are awesome. This is the coolest one in the set, though. So, and the limited edition codex looks incredible. I'm not always one for limited edition codexes, but that one looks incredible. Okay, so we've jeweled over the new box, but what else is coming out? We've talked a little bit about them so far, but first and foremost, it's the High King of Fenris. It is the Great Wolf. It is Logan Grimnar himself, Chapter Master of the Space Wolves, and his two badass wolves that may no longer have his cavalry chariot, which I lament, but at least he got to keep the wolves, unlike Ragnar. So, not having the crew locally anymore kind of hurts the ability to get games. The local crew definitely. I have like 1.5 nights a week to even remotely play a game. I totally get that, man. The skull is dope. Beard Boy is getting a little too close to the squats. Yeah, he did. His face did look a little bit like some of the squat models. They kind of opened Pandora's box when they reintroduced squats a while back. The only good thing that I am starting 40k again from scratch with all the new awesome Space Wolf sculpts to start over with. Yeah, I'm sure it hurts losing your previous Space Wolves army, but man, it like model wise, it's a beautiful time, for to be a Space Wolves fan and to start from to start a new collection. And that's why I'm like, okay, with all these new Primaris sculpts, because I've had a custom color scheme, my Silver Moon Space Wolves, I still love them. They're like the start of my my 40k adventure. But I'm like, man, with all of these new Primaris sculpts, maybe it's time. Now that I have found, credit to TMP at Brother Rob at the Miniature Paintbrush, I have found a more traditional Space Wolf scheme that I really like. Maybe it's time to actually paint up some Space Wolves as Space Wolves. The High King right here. I gotta put the High King in his colors. I say that even though I painted the last version of High King in my colors. He looks old now. Brother Garrett, welcome to the chat, brother. I hope you're doing awesomely. Oh, that's my other poke chat, this thing I've been doing the past week. I started Space Marine 2, have been freaking loving it. And Garrett has been one of my squad mates, helping me crush some Xenos and Chaos filth. Old Man Logan, aka Wolverine. This model is basically a Primarch model. It is super cool. It is definitely Primarch level detail. And I'm not surprised he looks older, especially since he was damn near killed again at the end of 7th edition when Magnus showed up on his planet and, he was holding him off alone for a little bit until a mysterious figure, rush-shaped figure in the fog, came and rescued him at the last minute. So, yeah, on the brink of death. Being on the brink of death sometimes makes people look a little older. And, he has been alive a long-ass time. I really want to see some Mythos Space Wolf paint-ups now. Oh, okay. Yeah. We can do that, for sure. I'm also crying now because Cypher is pure heretic Astartes now. Yeah, I do miss, especially because I've been playing my White Scars as Ravenwing lately, and I find it, I kind of lament that you can no longer play him as both Dark Angels and Heretic Astartes. I liked it better when he was still the unknown quantity. Could play on both sides. Great kind of double agent rule set. Dante just told him to hold my beer. Dante is also super old. You just don't get to see how old Dante is because he never takes his helmet off. Logan looks like that old due to all that Fenrisian ale. Just put some hair on his chest. You could never play them as Dark Angels? For some reason I thought you could. Although I gotta say, my memory's not what it used to be. That was the one Astartes faction you couldn't play him with. Oh, okay. That was definitely me misremembering then. I guess he was more like an Imperial agent, right? Just someone you could add to an army. So yes, Logan Grimnar is one of the most lauded warriors in the Imperium, with centuries of glorious service at the head of the Space Wolves to his name. The High King of Fenris cuts an imposing figure, flanked by his twin wolves, Tirnak and Fenrir, carrying the legendary axe Morkai and draped in Fenrisian ornamentation from Thunderwolf furs to intricate runic scribing. He is such a badass model, and I absolutely love that basically this pose, this miniature, this detail is like the super expensive, like several $100 statue that came out like a year or two ago. It's amazing. So much detail. I think Running Bear said it best. This is like Primarch level detail. specifically loyalist Primarch. I'm not going to go crazy and say like this is the equivalent to Motarian, but like yeah, this is like loyal Primarch level detail, I think. Another one of my favorite heroes that is maybe one of the first named, it might be the first named character I painted up for my army, is Aryak Rockfist. He isn't the only celebrated hero of the Space Wolves getting an update, as anywhere the Great Wolf goes, his personal champion isn't far behind, and that includes the Rubicon. The mountain of muscle and ceramite known as Aryak Rostfist serves as the mailed fist of the High King, upholding the honor of the chapter by dueling enemy commanders and crushing their skulls with the weight of his massive foe hammer. Such is his skill and with his hammer that he could throw it accurately over great distances before teleporting the weapon back to his hand. Now represented on the miniature with an optional assembly arm, brother. I love this pose here. This is such a badass pose. But I also have always loved his Thor-like throw of foe hammer, and so I love that that's now part of the modeled miniature. I think I would still pick the more intimidating looking pose just because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not always gentle with my minis when transporting, and this does look like a snap waiting to happen, but it is cool to look at. Bjorn tells Dante, "You were just a wee lad, still wet behind the ears." The bigger the tactical rock, the more money in your wallet will cry. I guess they're going away from that ethos. I can't wait to kit bash them. Hellworks, the mighty kit basher of all. Do you remember when you had to carve battle damage into your minis? Pepperidge Farm remembers. That is cool. So very cool. And then one miniature I had, but I don't know if I ever actually took him into a battle, was the old Finecast model for Niall Stormcaller. And I don't know if I ever played him because, like, immediately, Finecast was not known for its strength and resilience, and immediately the skull top of his staff and his eagle both broke off, and just no amount of trying to drill or pin could ever mount them back on again. And I was greatly frustrated. But this new sculpt looks amazing, so maybe I will try a Niall at some point. Niall Stormcaller is the spiritual heart of the Space Wolves, with few rune priests in history able to call upon the power of Mother Fenris with as much finality. He calls upon the elemental powers of the storm to aid his allies and strike at his foes, conjuring concealing storms of wind and deadly bolts of lightning wherever needed. This is a great new sculpt for Niall. I was asked earlier in the stream by our friend Inquisitor if I like Aryak or Niall much better. This is cool, but I just don't think it compares with this. That's just so cool. Those members of the Wolf Guard who do not take to the field as head takers are granted the honor of wearing ancient Terminator armor bedecked with runic carvings and Fenrisian totems, often left behind by their previous wearers. That is such a cool... All these Terminator poses and faces and whatnot are very cool. Very Nordic feeling. Like, plenty of wolf in them, I think, with the pelts, the tails, the skulls, the shield. Plenty of wolf in them, but also just very Nordic. Love this beard option. This one looks a little Asian, honestly. Looks like he's got a little bit of that Fu Manchu going on here. But all extremely cool. All extremely cool looking Terminators. and the classic Power Fist and Gatling Cannon version of the Space Wolf Guard Terminators. Their immense experience with the Wolf Guard Terminators. Their immense experience makes these Wolfguard Terminators a deadly and durable force on the battlefield. And with the choice to swap their storm bolters for beautifully decorated storm shields, amplified by the enormous relic great axe or lightning claws wielded by the pack leader. Ooh. I definitely love the shields. I know I'll probably be doing a lot of shields. The claws look cool. The Relic Great Axe on the leader, though. I wonder what the Relic Great Axe does. That looks really cool. But man, I feel like the Space Wolves have gone away from their classic wolf claws, you know? So it's kind of cool to see them back in models. I almost want to do a wolf claw version just because. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of down with the Asian Mongolian style Space Wolves. It fits in my mind. Man, that is why I started White Scars, is because I'm proud of my Asian heritage. You didn't carve battle damage into the minis. You just slowly chip them over and over time by playing with them and transporting them. I think more than ever playing with them, the majority of all of my battle damage came from, especially like I use magnet. I use homemade magnet cases now, but before putting them in and out of battle foam, I think did the most damage to my miniatures out of, other than just flat out dropping a miniature and breaking it. I think that did more damage to my miniatures than any regular handling of them. He gets a hawk, a freaking hawk. It's an eagle. Still cool. Yeah, he has one, and Corsaro Khan has one. I painted the one on Corsaro Khan up as a bald eagle. Steal that head for Scar Terminators. Oh, I absolutely will. I absolutely will. It can get cold in the Greater North Mongolian Empire back in the day. Yeah, it definitely did. It definitely did. I'm still surprised no leaks on the Codex, seeing how much all the others have leaked. Yeah, well, I don't even think the official date has gone live on the Warhammer community site of when you can order the box. So I'm not surprised yet. Usually it's closer to when they release minis, but as soon as they announce it, I'm assuming. Still going? Sweet. I didn't expect you to still be going when I got out of the shower. For a few more minutes. We finished up with the Space Wolf articles. Now, from what I'm told, this shows all of the reveals, and what the theory is that from the number of data sheets they say is going to be in the new codex, and what we've seen so far and what we know we're losing, that there's in theory 2 more miniatures or squads or whatever left to be revealed. And so this is going to be our moment to kind of theory craft, or maybe just wish list, what we might see in regards to that. And I think one of them, because what started even before all of the teasers for Space Wolves, was an article they did on Warhammer Community. I wonder if I can find it. It was just like a little picture of, you wake up to use the restroom in the middle of the night and you see this, and it was a picture of Bjorn standing in your doorway. And so that was like the first little teaser I ever saw for Space Wolves before any of this started. It was like months before. And so I'm wondering if that is going to play Return of Russ. I would love for that to happen, although traditionally, Loyal Primarchs have been an end of edition return. So I think at the very earliest, we might see it at the very end of 10th edition. Or the very end of 11th edition, just because we literally just had one. Um, Mythos, when are we getting a Space Marine date night table setting? I need some Space Wolf Mythos Stewart style home and gardens article. You right. That needs to come up and sometime soon. I really hope Bjorn doesn't go off to Legends. No, I think because they did a teaser of Bjorn, before all of these Primaris stuff started. I feel like he's going to be like maybe the last reveal for Space Wolves this go around. Bjorne. Okay, I put in Bjorn. Why is the 4 results on the Warhammer website? Deathcore, Mighty Custom Heroes Forged, Middle Earth, and Middle Earth. Okay. Let's go to the Warhammer Games Workshop. Warhammer 40k. What's the name of the channel for Games Workshop? Is it just Games Workshop? Warhammer TV. There we go. Add official Warhammer. Okay, let's see if I can find this post. Like I said, it was months back, but it was basically Bjorn showing up in your doorway in the middle of the night. And so that's why my theory craft is that Bjorn is going to be the final reveal for this release anyways. Like I said, at the end of the edition, maybe we might see Russ. I feel like it might not be this edition, but maybe at the end of the edition we might see Russ. But as far as this release, I think it's going to end with Bjorn. I know it's not the most exciting thing. Actually, maybe we can do this on Articles and Art. Pay no attention to all the prawns in my YouTube. Yeah, let's just look together. Gosh, that picture right there of Logan Grimrar with the little Codex background is so cool. Oh yeah, teaser for Space Marine 3. Excited, hype about that, especially now that I'm playing Space Marine 2. Apologize for all the speed scrolling, guys. If you're prone to seizures, please look away. That's your flashing lights warning. That's pretty cool. I'm positive it was a post on the Warhammer channel. Now this is going to be where it doesn't show up and I look cray-cray. Ah, here we go. You hear a knock on the door in the middle of the night and it's Bjorn the Fell-Handed. What do you do? 5 months ago, I feel like they wouldn't have teased this if we weren't getting Bjorn. Head off sleep, gotta catch some fish on the Fenrisian Sea. Have a wonderful night, man. May you have a safe trip and catch many fish. Honestly, I don't see Space Wolf Scouts being a kill team. Scouts were already a kill team for Standard Marines. Thought they'd double up on that specific type. Just called Warhammer. Thank you. Yeah, Bjorn I think is the last one. And then this one might be more of a wish list, but Primaris Thunderwolves are the next thing I'm going to call. And I think that one's more of a wish list. A little hopium copium. But I feel with this post right here, 5 months ago, Warhammer Official, I feel like this is for sure an official Primaris kit that we're going to get. And I feel confident in saying that it'll be here for this release specifically. We're going going to go ahead and clip that, just because I'm going to forget where I found it again. Thunderwolf would be cool, but they'd have to be huge. I'm okay with that. We could have some rhino-sized wolves. Kidding, of course. All right. We're not going to look at the other articles because they're not necessarily Space Wolf focused, and that's what tonight's show was talking about. Actually, you know what? Just one more real quick. I think many people who have been playing Drop Pod armies are probably excited to see that many people were theorizing that Drop Pods would be one of the minis that would go in the Age of Primaris, and it looks like it's here to stay. Since we're getting a new new Drop Pod kit, so it looks like it will live through the Age of Primaris. So that is very cool, and it'll probably be nice to drop some of those brand new Blood Claws through, which I think will be cool. So, maybe not Space Wolf exactly, but, kind of Space Wolf adjacent if you're going to be slapping them full of brand new head takers, maybe. I don't know if they can get in them, but that would be cool. Head takers, maybe, or some Blood Claws. Sadly, I don't think Thunderwolves will go Primaris only because of how much room it would need to take on the tables. Well, I were just going to be heavily upset if they don't survive the purging of the Firstborn. Because Thunderwolf Cavalry are 100% the reason I bought Space Wolves and made that my first army. So if that is my entire reason for playing the army, and it's gone, I will be upset. Who knows? Maybe I'll quit Space Wolves. I don't think I could ever quit Space Wolves, but I could be really upset about it. Even current Thunderwolves, the Marines are actually smaller than the old scale. Thunderwolves are going to be, to scale, it'd be huge, which makes me think they won't do it. I don't like doing this during the show, stepping away from the camera, but one sec. I think it's only that big because they're on round bases now. This is my Primaris Thunderwolf that I kit bashed up for a chaplain on bike in the last edition, where you could have a chaplain on bike lead your Thunderwolves. Not as an attached part of the squad because of the rules for the last edition, but still he could follow the Thunderwolves around and give them bonuses. And I think this kit bashed Thunderwolf is one of my favorite kit bashes I've ever done. And basically, this is just a plain chaplain on bike base size. Okay, the wolves are only massive because they're on round dreadnought bases. You put them on a chaplain on bike base, they're much smaller. And they're long so that you could stack them up in rows on the table, and they don't take up as much space as several big round dreadnought bases. At Mythos, I don't want them gone. Me either, brother. Me either. And so this I kit bashed from. This is one of the wolves from the 30K Wolf King Rust kit. And then the mini is a chaplain on bike mini, so that's where the the Mark 10 armor came from, the heavy bolt pistol, the flails here I took from a Death Knight kit, a Deathwing Knight kit that Zai gave me actually back in the day. Zythier in the chat there. He gave me a few Deathwing Knight bits back in the day for my kit bashes, and one of them I turned into this cool Chaplain on bike, but I wanted to make him Space Wolf style, so I put him on a Thunder Wolf. And of course, some other Space Wolf kits, like this is the backpack from, oh my gosh, the named Wolf Priest, whose name is eluding me. But yeah, I took his helmet, and I took his backpack banner here from the Ulrich the Slayer. And then, of course, the bolter pistol is from the Chaplain on bike, the Mark 10 armors from the Chaplain on bike. The saddle here is from the Chaplain on bike. And then I used some chains to wrap around because I thought that looked hardcore. Yeah. So, like I said, I love this kit bash here. And putting them on a bike captain model, or a bike chaplain model, base, I think still gives it the big base necessary, but by taking away the roundness, keeps it from crowding up the table too much. Side note, Thunderwolves, as in the wolf itself, are stronger than we think. It's carrying a whole Marine plus the armor that's so heavy, it's difficult for the Marine to move in without power. Absolutely. Ulrich, thank you, Heltworks. So I think this would be the way to do Primaris Space Wolves. This wolf is already bigger than the standard Space Wolves because Russ's wolves from 30K are bigger than Thunder Wolves if you were to measure them side by side. So, yeah, I think by going long instead of round, length instead of girth, that's the way to fix the Thunderwolf problem. Not that I would really know about either of those things because I'm an Asian man, but, we are where we are. So, yeah, I think that would be cool. That would be the way forward. That's how I would do Thunderwolves and make them Primaris. And, like I said, Thunderwolves are 100% my favorite unit in 40K. Like, my main reason for doing Space Wolves. I'm a white dude and I get it. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, that is my hype for freaking Space Wolves in the Primaris age. I hope you guys have gotten excited along with me. Running Bear, like I said, doing a hell of a job with Deathwatch, and after playing the first level of Space Marine 2, man, I'm finding myself loving some Deathwatch. So like, it's just matching up because I'm just now playing Space Marine 2, and I'm seeing Running Bear's Deathwatch. It's super cool. Keep an eye out for Paint Minis Live and his collaboration with the Master of Kit Bashes, Hellworks by Hellchild. In the chat there. Later in the month, they're going to be doing some collaboration. And, of course, Paint Minis Live will be doing the launch of the PML 2.0 website where you'll be able to buy some awesome hobby stuff. So, yeah, keep an eye out for all of these good things. Also, make sure you check out friend of the channel, Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor. You can see him here in the chat. Up this way. Here in the chat and also down in the link tree below, because he is putting out a video of his very first squad that he's done primarisizing a tactical squad for his brand new custom Space Marine chapter. So make sure you check it out. It is such a cool color scheme and lore that he's put together for it, and the fact that he's primarisizing a whole ass tactical squad is very cool, and I think you're going to want to see it if you love Space Marines like this guy does. If you guys like tonight's episode, please make sure that you grab up an axe and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. Drop me some comments down below and let me know how you feel about any of these Space Wolfy goodness coming out, and let me know what you're most excited for, or what you might wish list into this. All of these cool new Space Wolf releases. Longtime friend of the channel, was one of my might have been my very first friend when I moved to Texas. Stitching Out Loud. Hey, coming in at the very end, just wanted to say hi. Hello to you. Long time no see, and I am always so glad to see you. Like I said, legit my very first friend in Texas, so always good to see you. If you guys are not yet subscribed to any of my friends, the friends of the Frost and Fist, down in the link tree below, and if you're not subscribed to this guy, love to have you as part of the pack here on the Frosted Fist. So subscribe. Until next time, guys, stay frosty.